what we got here is a bathroom that needs to be renovated. It's approximately 5.5 feet wide by 8 feet deep, relatively small. The house itself was built sometime in the 30s, and then they moved the house in onto a new foundation back in the 80s. That's when this bathroom was last remodeled. As you can see, it doesn't look very good. It has some plumbing issues. The floor they used, actually the floor is a hardwood floor that they put MDF on top of. And yes, MDF, not plywood. And then they covered it with linoleum. And that's that. But as you can see, it's quite rough. Got a new window in, but the rest of this needs to go. It's going to be completely gutted. It should be interesting too when we pull this wall off. There is no insulation basically in the house. I think there'll be some old newspapers from the 30s that are tucked in there. So I'm kind of curious to see what I find. But yeah, so everything will be gutted. It's going to be subway tile with a clawfoot tub that's been restored. The tub was made sometime in the 30s. With the shower kit for the clawfoot tub as well. The toilet, I'm going to be putting in a high tank toilet. Now, it's not a high tank toilet that you can commercially buy. It's just a regular toilet that I'm converting to a high tank toilet, which I will show you guys that and how I did it. Relatively easy. Materials, everything's being done on a budget. This is going to be done quite cheap compared to what it would cost to renovate a bathroom normally. I will not be cutting any corners, however, while saying that. Everything will be done correctly. Everything will be waterproofed, both floor and the wall, and watertight. So I'm actually going to create the floor capable of holding, you know, a half-inch of water sitting in the floor, and it'll hold it all tight with the floor drain, which I'll show you that too when I get to that. So lots of work. It's going to be quite interesting. Yeah. So I don't know if this will be a video in itself or this will just be the first half of the first video I actually put out of the process. Now, here's some of the different colors the bathroom has been painted through the years. You can see the bright yellow, this kind of a purple, almost nail polish, kind of pinky purple. Come down here and then you see this nice bright pink. Now, before the beige was put on, the bathroom was this bright pink. In fact, the whole house was this bright pink. The ceilings were bright pink. The house at night, when the lights were on and you were standing outside, glowed pink from the windows. one section. Kind of interesting. As you can see, this is like an old waterproofing membrane. Something I haven't ever really seen before. Seems to be tar based. Hope there's not going to be any asbestos in it. Probably is. But that's okay, because I'm going to remove this paneling, and it is scored across here. I cut through it. This is actually wood paneling behind this, and then you have drywall up top. So I'm actually going to be able to remove this in a full section, which will cut down on cutting into this if there is any asbestos in there. I'm not so worried about removing the floor in this. It'll actually come up pretty easy. It might come up in chunks, because it'll be rotten MDF, and there's not really any structure there, no fibers to hold it together in one piece. It'll just break apart in chunks, but it won't be that bad. So interesting. See? Makes it easy, doesn't it? Pieces. Yeah, I'm not too sure. So, I have no idea. Was that supposed to hold a patch or something for the other side? That doesn't make any sense. Got electrical running through there. As you can see, the thin panel board that wall was. I don't know what they were thinking. Waterproof everything, but then have a big gaping hole. Yeah, it concerns me to see this, how it was done. Just opening it up into this. Been like 3.5 minutes. Okay. So, peeled some more out here. What I was originally, when I first tore out this corner and realized that the floor is doubled up with 2 layers of MDF. I thought perhaps it was down to the subfloor, which is a tongue and groove, but it is down to the hardwood floor that I have there, as you can see, the thin slats. The maple hardwood that I have throughout the house. Did have before they covered up a lot of it. Not in the best of shape, so wasn't really worth saving. And to fix, well, obviously what they did. So I'm happy to see that at least. Why they have 2 layers of OSB, 2 layers of MDF? Yes, it's not plywood, it's not OSB, it's not anything useful. Don't use that for a floor. They have in the bathroom, in the kitchen, and over by the front door, there is a layer of MDF with this linoleum on it. 1 layer, and then the rest of the house is the hardwood. This is doubled up. The transition from this into the hallway is, I got a kind of a low spot in there. It makes sense because this is extra high. I'm assuming they did that because of the toilet. I'm assuming whoever did the plumbing in this place put the toilet flange extra high, and so they needed to compensate and double up the floor. So when I get to pulling out the toilet and everything else, we will see that and see if that is the case, which I'm almost sure that it is. Now, go to the rest of this wall here. If you notice, it's behind the tub. You have that flange here because the wall is supposed to come down, the tile, the whatever, over that lip to help keep water out. As you can see, the wall is, they put that on first and then stuck the tub in. They had like a 1x2 trim around the edge of the tub, and that's with a bunch of silicone here to try to seal the water from getting behind and damaging the floor below. Well, we'll see. At this point, I got to pull off whatever the hell this thing is that they built, but a little quarter round molding to seal up the face of the tub. There's the seam in the linoleum that they like covering up. It's a nice big trap for water. That's where the MDF is swelling up because it's got into that seam. Obviously it would. Well, maybe you can see there. As you see, that tub is actually sitting down on the hardwood with this raised up floor above it. So, don't know how that's going to be locked down. So it means I can't pull the tub out. I can't finish pulling the wall out. I can pull that section out for the plumbing. It should be interesting to see what kind of abortion lies behind. But for the rest of this stuff, I need to shut the water off. Because I'm going to have to cut the lines and drain everything. I need to pull the toilet out so I can pull the floor out. So the toilet comes out, floor comes out. Then I can get to doing the rest of this wall after I pull the tub out, of course. And then same for the sink. This it's the same thing. It's buried in. They put the floor up against it, so and it'll have to come out. So usually you can tell within the first 5 minutes of a project
on how much of a gong show it's going to be, on the amount of buffoonery that you find. And you know, I don't know who did this, but this is not how you do it. This is wrong. Granted, it's probably on a budget and didn't want to spend a lot of money, but now it's my problem. It's usually how it goes. People like to slap something together to get them by, and then, you know, pass that off to somebody else down the line. How I'm going to do it, it's going to be done right. It's going to be watertight. It will be done on a budget, but no corners will be cut. Yeah, so there's that part of the process so far.